going to start off with an arm spin. And first thing I want to show is just the technique. I like to get it a lot. I do it both from an underhook, when he's underhooking me, and from a collar tie. All right. I'm going to start off with when he digs an underhook, because this is quite often the place where I get it most. A guy will dig an underhook and push, 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 push. And it's just a great opportunity if you guys going to hit you for stalling because you're being pushed off the mat, or in freestyle, you can get hit for a point. He digs that underhook. What I want to be able to do, first of all, is secure the arm. And I do it by just simply pinching. I don't want to make it too obvious, like I'm grabbing hold of this right now, or else he's going to start being aware of it. But all I have to do is just pinch. Now, Jeremy, try to pull that away. It's very hard. All I'm doing is pinching to my lat and my tricep right there. Now the drill I'd like to teach to do this move is kind of like a high step. It's like a high step. Jeremy, to stop this move, he would crowd me in here. So I've got to get some space. I can't have that, or else it's very difficult to clear my hips. Right there. All right, so I want a little bit of space. All right, what I'm going to do here is, here's the drill. I'm going to step outside toe to outside toe. I don't want to start in here, because one, I'm giving up my hip now, and he can body lock me, or he can do a lot of things, right? So I'm stepping outside hip to outside hip. I actually block off in his far hip, all right? Usually when I push this hip, he usually pushes back a little bit, and that's what I want. I want his hips coming this way, because that'll open up that doorway that I can get my hip through, because this move is about getting my hips through. All right, so I push off, I feel that pressure coming back just a little bit, and all I'm going to do is step, and I'm going to do this drill, just learn the motion. So you're going to come 360 degrees. Feel it? Step, 360. And I want you really pound the foot down. Really exaggerate this step. Right? And the reason for that is, especially young kids, they won't clear their hips all the way. They'll do it here. And now he's going to arch me back. Really use this leg to power your way through it. Continuing this move, you got to keep the arm tight, because if you don't keep the arm tight, even if you clear your hips, he'll just turn his arm. So I want to make sure I pinch that arm tight. Right. Step. Notice Jeremy's already almost going through. The arm I'm clearing, my shoulder is going to go right into his armpit here. A shoulder throw, which we'll show later, we're actually going to go bicep to bicep. Here, my armpit is actually going to go underneath, inside his armpit. Right here. So we're going to lower our level enough as we clear our hips to come through. As I'm punching this hand through, and I'm really punching that shoulder through, I'm going to come and grab on his bicep. Here. Notice I'm not letting that elbow, that arm straighten out. I want to keep it secure, tugging tight on his forearm, two hands, and just keep turning. So, once again, key components. I'm pinching, high kicking all the way through, shoulder in the armpit, capturing his bicep, drive. Head to head, clear into hopefully a headlock position. If this man is pushing into me, it works even better. But when he's pushing into me, it's more important to level change, because it's going to be harder with backwards pressure or forward pressure for me to step and kick through. So in this case, I'm letting him right here, there's my motion. You can see as I'm backing up, essentially I've done the step. So as you feel him pushing, push, go ahead and push. You'll use his motion against you. He's pushing me out of bounds. He thinks he's in good shape. You'll also hopefully notice I'm staying in a ball. The more compact I am, the harder it is for this man to stop my motion. If I'm long and extended, I'm out here, I have no power. If I'm in a ball, all my weight is condensed. Quite often I'll use my arm spin as a setup. More often than not, this man is not going to go flying through. He's going to adjust in some way, and it's a great technique into a high single or a low single. I prefer to take this move to the mat and finish on a low single, but I'm going to show both. In the low single situation, it's the same exact situation. This time we come all the way to the mat, but he doesn't come through. He doesn't come through. I can't bring him through. All I do, and notice I'm pinching off so he can't lock his own hands. If he tries to lock his hand around my head, it's very hard. All I'm going to do is switch off to the single leg. There's our single. Now this is quite honestly, my preferred technique. I feel him push just a little bit, boom, right there, into a single. Just a fantastic setup for a single leg. And I'll do this really quickly. Boom. Really hit my arm spin with the expectation of going right into a single leg. That's a low single leg, finishing on the mat. You can also hit a high single leg. It's very hard for him to do anything to me because I'm controlling this side of his body. He can't shoot, he can't attack. If he tries to attack this side of my body, there's really nothing he can do here, except he's gonna try to rotate out and back away. You gotta be careful. If Jeremy does this to me, if he arm spins, he's gonna try to lock around the head. That's what's gonna probably, most guys are gonna try to do. And in this case, when they do that, that's when I drop down to the mat real hard and fast. Oh, not like that, but let me show you. When I get to here and the guy tries to lock, I gotta get this hand outside. So I'm gonna come down hard and drop all my weight down as quickly as I can. Hopefully, you can do it fast enough where his reaction time is not quick enough to lock, because that's really what he's going to be trying to do, is lock you up. So you got the arm spin all the way to his back, hopefully into a headlock. Arm spin single, finishing on the mat. Quickly changing off. And arm spin to a high single. Another place we can get our arm spin is when he collar ties me. The collar tie, I'm going to make a hook, secure the hook to my chest. I'm pulling that into my chest so he can't pull it away. Right? The fear for a lot of kids is overhooked. They can feel like the real good arm spin. They're very secure and very safe here. When you do a hook, they don't feel like they have the same strength and control over this arm because they're not pulling it into the chest. They need to pull it into the chest. And this motion, a lot of it is going to be making this man pushing on me. As he pushes on me, I let my footwork do the work for me. My natural motion. I don't have to do anything different other than go with the flow. So I feel Jeremy pushing on me. There it is. There's my step, toe to toe. I lower my level. Boom. And there's my arm spin. Shoulder goes into the armpit. Secure it tight. Here you really got to watch out. He's going to try to get that arm underneath your arm. So you've got to keep your elbow down here, in tight. He can't lock his hands because he can't lock his hands here because it's a headlock. He can come under the arm, and that's where you get in trouble. So as I hit that spin, I got to keep my elbow in tight. He's not trying to do it, Jeremy, and he can't do it. He can't do it. So it's extremely important to keep that elbow in tight to your body as you're hitting this spin. Here, elbow down, back step, back step. All right. Still doing an arm spin. I'm not doing a shoulder throw yet. There. A couple different setups for this move. I like to do a foot sweep off of this. And here what I'm going to do is all I'm going to do is grab his shoulder. I'm going to step, pull the arm, foot sweep. I'm not going to get into that technique because it's going to be a setup. All right, got the shoulder, step outside, pull, sweep. He hops it. There it is. My shoulder throw is going to come, my shoulder's not going underneath. I'm not spinning through his arm. This time, I'm going to capture his arm, his shoulder, and it's all going to be about level change. So I'm doing my same step toe to toe, back step, but this time I'm lowering, this time I'm stepping toe to toe, grabbing his shoulder, level change. And you'll see it's a shoulder throw. I'm using my shoulder to his shoulder. I'm not going underneath. Here, toe to toe, level change. This one I'm not actually going to clear my hips outside of his. I want to use my hips to pop his hips. Here. So it's a completely different technique. Step, back step, level change, pop. There's a lot more judo influence. On the shoulder throw, unlike a lot of techniques, you actually want to have some separation. You don't want to come down to the mat. When I step toe to toe and back step, I want this man, after I throw him, to separate from me. I'm stepping. As I level change, I'm going to pop him with my hips. Pop. And now I have a little bit of separation. And clear over. If I have no separation, I'm down here tight, that's when he's going to start throwing legs. You'll get yourself in trouble. In freestyle, Greco, it doesn't matter. Clamps on my head. He pushes, motion. He's got to be pushing me. If he's not pushing me, if I'm chasing him, it's not going to work. He's got to have forward pressure. Step toe to toe, opposite toe to toe. I feel his pressure. Level change. And once again, my foot sweep works real well with this shoulder throw. A lot of times with that last foot sweep, it's hard to get the clearance for the arm spin. And when you can't get your hips through, it's a great time to hit a shoulder throw. So I step outside, I pull, block. There it is. You can see toe to toe, level change. And I'm dropping right to my knees and popping my hips at the same time. Do it a little faster. And there was almost a combination of the two. And that's what's going to happen. Depending upon where my partner's body is, my opponent's body is, I'll either come through to a more or less through on that shoulder throw into an arm spin. But I'm not coming all the way through, so it's not going to be an arm spin. Another variation from that collar tie position, you can do a lot of things depending upon where his hips are at. If his hips are a little bit back, like that, and you feel like there's just too much space, we can do a little more, and you want to get the weight on this near leg. What I'm going to try to do, and this is a little bit more judo influence, is I'm going to get some motion, and then I'm going to make the weight go one direction and then come back the other. So once again, I'm going to use that same kind of motion, pulling it there. Now, I've got my feet in position. I've made a T. I've got my feet where I want them. From here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to block that leg here. Here. Right there. And it's going to be, once I get that motion, here, I'm in good shape, as you can see. So I'm going to position him by making him step by that outside step pull. There it was. Outside step pull. There's my T. So I'm trying to create a T from here, back step, hook. And right here, I've got Jeremy, I've got him lined up on my hips. All I've got to do is explode off of my inside leg and pop. I'm being gentle with my partner here. He may not think so, but there's two different ways you can do this. One, step block. I can come up through the crotch, but you've got to take a big step here, a real big step. Boom. You can see I'm loading him onto my hips. The key of this technique is he's moving, my hips are staying in the same place. So I'm loading him. Here, there it is. There's that mule kick and explode off a leg. Boom. That one I'm just exploding and throwing. And that, if you don't get him quite as loaded on your hips, boom, I'm just gonna hook. And here, all you need to really do is hop until he trips. If you really want to throw him on that, which I'm sure my partner doesn't want me to do, you can do that as well. Here. I'll give him one good throw. Here. From an overhook position, same type of motion. From here, all I'm going to do is I got to get my hips in position. I like to position them either I can pull here from the underhook or from the double overs, or from this kind of the 2-on-1 motion. I like to just pull a little pull from over under. When I'm in here on that collar tie, I like to control him with my elbow, keep him away from me. When I'm in an underhook position, I don't really feel comfortable doing that because I feel like he can throw me. If I start pushing with this arm here, start pushing, I can get in trouble. Whereas I'm in the collar here, I don't feel so much like he can throw me because he can't throw me off that collar. Here, I don't feel as comfortable. So I go from the overhook, same type of motion. I'm gonna make him circle, get myself in a T. The reason I circle is because I don't want him to feel me doing this. I want it to be a natural motion where he steps there. Now I'm gonna come to this right here. Right here. Right there. And from here, all I'm gonna do is hop. Some guys will try to come behind your hips on here, which is not what they want to do. And that's all they're doing is loading you up. All right. If he's backing up, if I get a man backing up on me from this position, it's really simple. Because as that weight goes back onto his heel, you have no problem just taking the big step. So if you get a guy who's trying to back up out of here, there it is. I wouldn't do that from here, because from here, as I hop, he can lateral me. That's why I clear that arm. He's walking. It's very hard to lateral me from there. From this over-under position, kind of a modified, it's not an arm spin, but it's gonna be a block. And once again, I like to do everything off my motion. Take a big step, drop, and block. Now this is a motion where I'm not actually doing a full arm spin, but I'm doing the same type of motion where I'm dropping my shoulder below his shoulder and blocking the knee. And I like to get this, once again, it's all predicated based on your ability to pinch this arm so that it can't come out. Make a step, there's my footwork, drop and run. Opposite side, step, drop, and run. Put a couple different things together, step, block, he steps back off that, boom. Drop the level, boom. Opposite single, all right? So it's all off that arm spin motion. Guys worry about the arm spin, boom, block, he steps out, boom. Changing your motion. Bringing this arm down, weight on the leg that you're attacking. I'm going to show a couple arm throws and shoulder throws that work primarily in freestyle. They're going to be exposure-based throws, so they're not the type of things that are going to work real well collegiately, unless you can really change off very quickly. First one we're going to do, just off of, real simple, just off a wrist tie, just like that. All right, I like to bring the head down, and I'm going to throw my hips under his. Essentially what I'm going to have him do is I'm going to have him fall over top of me, just like that. I want to extend his arm as much as possible, and I don't want him to feel it coming, so I want to really be loose right in here. Do my back step motion again, throw my legs in, and it's all going to be a level change. So here, boom. I'm going to pull down, I'm going to step, and I'm going to fall forward. As I'm falling forward, I'm lowering my level, popping my hips just like I popped in the other ones. This is a shoulder throw. This is a shoulder throw. So I step toe to toe, back step, all my level change is going down. I'm not trying to spin through the arm on this at all. I'm not trying to do any of this kind of stuff. All I want to do is I want my hips right below in his thigh, right there. I'm pulling that arm, and you can see where my shoulder is going right in his armpit. I'm going to throw that punch. Now, that might work collegiately, but realistically, Jeremy's going to fight me on this one. In here. You don't want to be in that position. So, if you do hit it in college, high school, you're going to want to get separation as soon as you pop them. Bring them down, step, come in. Now, I've always had a really good grip, so I can get away with this. Obviously, you get later in the match, it gets real wet, real slippery. It's going to be a lot harder. I've actually seen guys screw around with both arms, but then you're not going to get the shoulder as much in here. Pull. He pulls back subtly. He's going to pull me into it. Pull. Pull. Right there. The whole idea of this is he's falling over my hips. I'm going to pop him. Real quick, looking for exposure. Same type of attack. All I want him to do is to slap my head. Best way I get people to do that is bang him, all right? Bang, right? So I'm coming here, bang, puts his hand on the head, boom. All right. So I feel it coming. Now, collegiately, you don't want to do that. you're gonna miss because it's gonna be you're gonna, if you don't get exposure, if you don't come up, you're gonna get taken down. Freestyle, I want to get it where it's a slip. So if I bang him, he bangs me back. As soon as I feel him coming, boom. It's my arm throw. So once again, it's much more freestyle oriented, not something I want to make my go-to. Last little arm throw I'm going to show is off of a Russian tie. And this is going to be the actual opposite of what we've worked on so far. So far, everything we've been doing is coming inside, arm spin, shoulder throw. This time we're actually going to go outside, inside. So we're coming the outside this way. All right. I do it better on the right side, and I like to do it from a Russian tie. So here's my Russian tie, right here. I would love to be able to be here, ideally, but it's much harder to get this lock. So I'm gonna teach it from just a regular basic Russian tie. Right? I want him going behind my hips, ideally. So if he's in here squared up with me, right here, it's gonna be very difficult to hit. So I'm gonna try to bring him backwards. All I'm gonna do, square up with me, is I'm going to step, pull. And once again, I'm loading my hips up. There's my back step. I step, pull, boom, there's my back step. You can almost see where we're going here. I'm gonna level change, level change, level change, level change, boom, there's my shoulder throw. Shoulders below his armpit. I'm gonna pull down, and I'm looking for his back exposure towards my head. Boom. Once again, he's squared up with me like he's normally fighting me. I take a big step, pull, and there's my back step. So all my steps, all my motion, I'm trying to work him into my footwork. I don't want to come in here and do this kind of stuff. He's going to feel it. He's going to circle away from me. So I want him to do the work for me. All right? I step, pull, boom. There it is. If I miss, no problem. All right? It's not a risky move, but it's certainly not going to work if he's square with me either. If he's got his head down, that's simply not going to work. All right? Here I would come, arm spin the opposite side. So I've got my Russian tie. This time he grabs my hand. Even better, now he's really locked into this move. I'm going to come again, once again. If I could grab that wrist, just keep him in tight. Step, back step, lower my level. All right? So, step, pull, level change, level change, level change, level change. I'll do it fast a couple times. Oh, if he grabs that, go ahead and grab that arm. If he grabs that hand, it doesn't matter. Step. And you notice I'm coming down on his wrist. Coming down from here. I like to change off. That's why I would love to have it, my Russian tie, this way initially. Step. Right. Last time, grabs my wrist, this wrist, all right. Step, pull, step, back step, throw. The reason I like it freestyle is because all I'm doing is I'm looking for exposure. If it doesn't work, no big deal. I can go in my step, try to do my hooks. If I'm in here, boom, he steps back. Oh, I'm sorry. How much you posting? All right. I'm stepping, he's posting. Here's my arm throw, opposite direction. If he doesn't, if he comes behind my hips, boom, boom. And I want to make sure you see what I'm doing with my upper body here. So I'm really adjusting my arm. So if he comes behind my hips, stepping,
I'm level changing, shoulder, shoulder, I'm pulling down. Once again, my hips are going back, I'm popping, coming up. From a collar tie, little setup, elbows in, we're gonna bring this arm down. Jerk, jerk. As he comes up, boom, he's pulling me into, right? So I'm pulling the arm, elbow down on his forearm, both hands. Going down with my outside hand, I like to come in, cup it and pull as well. Be careful not to get this arm too extended, because you don't want to make it too obvious. Down, pull, he comes up, step, back step, boom, throw. So just a little setup, just one more setup from your collar tie. This time I'm coming down, two hands, I feel him pull up, he pulls me in. Off that shoulder throw, he's just gonna pull me in, hips in, throw. I'm gonna show some arm drags. I love showing arm drags because they're so versatile. You can hit basically any move you want, you can hit as a setup, an arm drag. And you also can hit them on the mat. It's just a great technique to add to your repertoire, even if you don't feel comfortable with it. I've got a couple drills that make it real simple to add into your system. First thing we want to do is always, I love inside control. And we're going to learn this little inside arm drag motion. I'm going inside, he's coming outside. I'm going to chop across the wrist, capture his tricep. And I want to make a little game out of it where, why we tell the kids that trying to create a sonic boom, you're doing it so fast. Elbows are in. You notice I'm not getting my arms away from my body. If I start getting my arms away from my body, the motion becomes slower, longer. It's quick motion. All right, it's going to be a quick chopping at the wrist, capturing it at the tricep, inside step double. All I'm doing is chopping and creating an angle. And here's our little drill. Chop, double, change motion. Chop, double. I want to be able to do this from both sides. Okay. Back and forth. And this is our little warm-up. And we can do this so many times and you're not even getting tired, and you'll have this memory down while you're doing your sleep. Next, I'm going to do where I'm going to reach and grab my hand on his head. He grabs it, double. All I'm doing is rotating the arm down, same motion, essentially the same motion, capturing tricep. And we're just going back. What do you do? And we're going back and forth. This might look easy, but it takes a while to master. But once you master this drill, you'll get a tech that, especially young kids, it'll become so easy that they'll just get that feel, and it becomes instinct. The last one on a double is just a baseball grip, like you're batting, right? Rotate it down, he grabs the wrist, rotate it, double. Oh, tough. Not there yet.
Come on.
So you can see those drills, it took me 2 minutes to do those. Your kids can hit them 30 or 40 times. And they're just a great way to teach a double leg. And obviously, you don't want to just stop there. You want to actually hit and bump across and hit the double and finish it. But it's just a really good way to warm up, learn the double, learn your arm drag, and really work on your double at the same time. Outside leg shots and outside leg singles can be done the same way. Inside position, drag, single. Inside position, drag, single. So now instead of hitting that inside step penetration step, we're going to learn our single legs. Drag, pull, there's our single. Turn the corner.
singles. So now we're doing it with the outside step. Same thing with the hand. And I actually prefer this technique, probably because I didn't have very good double leg. So it's just a great way to learn inside leg penetration, 3 different setups. Outside leg penetration, single leg, 3 different setups. Another really simple drag that I like to work is when anybody over ties me. And when I mean over tie, you're just coming over top. And kids do it all the time. All I'm going to do is turn on the inside toe, bring the arm across. Not unlike this technique. It's a very similar concept, except this time, the harder he pushes in, the easier it is to bring it across my body. Now I'm not pulling his tricep. I'm releasing as I go. And you'll notice I'm turning on that inside foot, I'm capturing the tricep, turning on that toe and going hip to hip, boom. All right. And I like a lot of drills that you can just do warming up, especially when you're dealing with young kids, because their attention span tends not to be as long, and they get tired quickly. And that's a really simple drill that you can add to any practice. Turning on the toe, bringing that hip across. The harder he pushes, the easier it is. You'll notice my body is square. I'm turning. Essentially, he's running through my body, and I'm keeping him coming. Real simple drag. The last little drags we're going to do are on the mat. Front headlock situation. If we get him down in front headlock, all I'm going to do is try to get to that arm. If he grabs my hand either way, all I'm going to do is come, peel it, and drag. And drag. Everybody worries about the cement job and things like that. I can either come over the arm this way, here, in which case it's very hard for him to stay up with me. Or I can just come right there on the neck. And this happens all the time. Guys will grab. All we're going to do is drag him forward. Try to get an ankle. Come the other side. Just pull, drag. And those little drags are really simple ways of adding little setups. And on the mat, they're actually finishes. Take very little effort to learn, and you'll get a great deal of a return for your time investment.